Perhaps surprisingly, one of the biggest beneficiaries of the broadband revolution has been local radio. Here in the small town of Twin Falls, Idaho, in fact, from this very church behind me, Christian talk radio station CSN International broadcasts to the US via FM and satellite, but to the rest of the world via the internet.
CSN International provides religious Christian programming on stations and translators throughout the United States. And from Twin Falls, Idaho, we shoot a signal from here up to the satellite. The satellite then brings the signal down to receivers at these stations throughout the United States. And there are 400 and some translators and 30 some full powers. Those then are rebroadcasting largely sermons back to back. We call it Christian talk radio. And in addition then to CSN, we have the Effect Network, and that is hardcore, modern rock and roll. With the internet, we're streaming out both CSN and the Effect. So consequently, it takes that signal beyond the United States so that that signal becomes available throughout the world. For the most part, it's a completely separate audience as far as we can tell, because the traditional listener is hearing it on their car radio, they're hearing it on their radio in their home. They are not necessarily the ones who are going to listen to it on the internet. Now, what we do find is that as the internet grows, and as there are other means of listening to the internet, where you're not necessarily just tied to listening to it on your computer speakers, that the audience for the internet is growing rapidly. It's an age category that's probably more from mid-20s to mid-40s, as opposed to 18 to 34 or some demo like that. And it's not necessarily the older demo, but it is that middle of the road audience from 25 to 45. We are streaming to cell phones as well. It's a growing, rapidly growing means of people being able to listen to what previously had been confined largely to radio. Now the handheld device has become your portable radio.
The station isn't just using the internet to stream its programming, it's also using social media to interact with its audience.
We are using Facebook. We have just started that, so it's a little new to us. It's a learning process of how to interact with people. You know, in radio, we're kind of like the minister at the pulpit. You're talking to the audience, and the audience is not talking back to you. So it's a learning process for us on how to interact with people. But we have begun that. The future, you know, we thought was being very limited. Now it's open again. It's open to all the world and to people we never thought we could reach before.
This is Guy Daniels for Connected States of America in Twin Falls, Idaho.